Now it's
तो
fine.
इसमें ये है कि सबसे बड़ी बात इसमें ये, इस डिवाइस देखने में बहुत छोटा है लेकिन एक लाइब्रेरी है हमारे पॉकेट में एक तरीके से, क्योंकि ये सुगम्य पुस्तकालय और बुक शेयर से कनेक्टेड है। और सबसे बड़ी बात ये है कि वाईफाई से कनेक्ट हो जाता है, चाहे आप मोबाइल का हॉटस्पॉट यूज कर लीजिए या घर में अगर वाईफाई लगा है तो आप उसे कंपेयर करके कनेक्ट करके आप सुगम्य पुस्तकालय यूज कर सकते हैं। इसके लिए आप यहाँ से किताबें डाउनलोड करके इसमें पढ़ सकते हैं और ये 16 लैंग्वेज का सपोर्ट करता है। तो आप तमिल, तेलुगु, कन्नड़, मराठी, बंगाली, भोजपुरी, पंजाबी, सिंधी, नेपाली, ये उड़िया, बहुत सारे भाषाओं का इसमें संग्रह जिनसे आप इससे पढ़ सुन सकते हैं। तो मैं थोड़ा सा डेमो देके दिखा देता हूँ। जैसे मैं कोई एक फाइल है, जैसे मैं प्ले करता हूँ, तो सबसे बड़ी बात इसमें है कि आप किसी भी पेज पे जा सकते हैं। अगर आपके पास थाउजेंड्स बुक्स की पेज है, आप डायरेक्ट कमांड देके 100 पेज पे या 150 पेज पे डायरेक्ट जा सकते हैं, तो उस पे भी जाया जा सकता है। उसके अलावा इसमें रिकॉर्डिंग कर सकते हैं आप अपने नोट्स, जो भी क्लास में जो ऑडियो रिकॉर्डेड। और ये सबसे बड़ी बात, सभी फाइल फॉर्मेट को सपोर्ट करता है, ईपब और ई टेक्स्ट, और उसके अलावा ऑडियो जो भी फाइल फॉर्मेट है उन सबको सपोर्ट करता है ये डिवाइस। तो जैसे एक लैंग्वेज सैंपल फाइल में कोई प्ले करता हूँ, जैसे एक पॉपुलर मास्टर गाइड है मेरे पास रेलवे की, अब मैं इसे प्ले करता हूँ, डेजी बुक है ये।
भारतीय रेलवे ग्रुप डी भर्ती परीक्षा गई।
तो ये से मैंने प्ले किया और इसमें मैं चैप्टर वाइज चैप्टर मूव कर सकता हूँ। और
भारत की जनगणना सामान्यतः कितने समय
जैसे
की जाती है?
ये चल रहा है और मैं डायरेक्ट किसी पेज पे जाना है तो
गो टू पेज,
मैं जैसे
वॉइस गो टू पेज 0,
अब मैं जैसे 20 पे 440 पे गया,
40,
तो ये जैसे मैं
गोइंग टू पेज 40,
पृष्ठ 40,
तो डायरेक्ट मैं 40 पेज पे चला गया। तो इस तरह से ऑडियो के साथ साथ अगर मैं जब से जैसे कोई
कितने
वर्ड फाइल पढ़ता हूँ, जैसे कोई टेक्स्ट फाइल, तो इसमें वर्ड नैरेगेशंस मिलेगा मुझे, सेंटेंस, पैराग्राफ, सब कुछ मैं पढ़ सकता हूँ। मेरे को किसी वर्ड का स्पेलिंग चेक करना है तो मैं स्पेलिंग भी चेक कर सकता हूँ और उसे सुन सकता हूँ। और लैंग्वेज को सपोर्ट तो करता ही है। और ये डिवाइस मैं आप लोगों को एक अलग से लैंग्वेज की पढ़ के दिखा देना चाहता हूँ।
रिकॉर्ड पॉडकास्ट फॉर लैंग्वेज सैंपल।
जैसे लैंग्वेज है तो मैं एक तमिल
समय से फोल्डर,
और जैसे कोई एक
बंगाली, इंग्लिश, गुजराती, हिंदी, कन्नड़ा, मलयालम, मराठी, फोल्ड, नेपाली,
जैसे नेपाली या तमिल है,
फोल्ड,
पंजाबी बुक ही पढ़ना है मेरे को, मैंने ओके किया और इसे मैं चला देता हूँ तो ये पंजाबी बुक को भी मैं सुन सकूंगा। तो इस तरह से मैं इसमें कोई भी लैंग्वेज की बुक्स जो है 16 भाषाओं का सपोर्ट है वो उसको मैं पढ़ सकता हूँ, सुन सकता हूँ। और सबसे बड़े बड़े कैरी करना आसान है और कहीं भी ले जा सकता है और इसका कोई वेट भी नहीं, और एक मोबाइल के जैसा छोटा सा डिवाइस है। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Anil. Thank you so much. Let's go.
So, well, इस डिवाइस में इंटरनेट रेडियो, पॉडकास्ट और ग्राफिंग, कैलकुलेटर्स, कंपास और कई तरह के टूल्स आई गेस अवेलेबल हैं. एंड देन as I said, the biggest part is that the files which may be in PDF, Word document, TXT files, or HTML files, all those file formats and all the DAISY and EPUBs or the various variations of DAISY files or full text, full audio or EPUB, etc. All those formats are supported, and it's a one single device which solves many problems, reading issues and things for persons with blindness. So yes, thanks a lot, Anil, for this demo. Now, friends, these two devices are being taken in the hands of people with the help of this project. But to culminate this project, we actually had a quiz contest, actually. And to speak more about this quiz contest, what this contest was about and how did we go about it, I would like to now invite Sonali to introduce the quiz contest of what this whole contest was basically. So, Sonali, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So the quiz contest, which we've been hearing about since the beginning, it was organized on 14th of February, and more than 100 people registered for it online. And it was organized mainly on two themes. One is awareness about COVID-19, another is awareness about rights and schemes and provisions for persons with disabilities. So once the people registered themselves, they were provided a list of reference materials or articles through which they can go through. And they were also registered on Sugamya Pustakalaya so that they can easily get access to this reference material. So the quiz was conducted using Google Forms. And the 10 lucky, 10 top performers of the quiz will be given this EVO E10 Daisy player, which we've just seen on Subsidy. So, and all the people, all the winners are eagerly awaiting for quite some time now to hear the results. All of them are connected with us. But before we get to know these results, let's just hear what some of the participants shared. They gave us some feedback and shared their experiences. So can we have those videos, please? Hello, Ashima. Will it be possible to play the videos, participant videos?
I think there was an issue in playing
Yes.
the videos, no?
Okay, so maybe we can straight away then move on to the results. So I invite Aarti now from Saksham to please introduce Ms. Anamika Chaurasia from Clarivate Analytics, who will be announcing the names of the winners.
Aarti ma'am, can you play the videos?
Yeah, I can try. Ashima, give me a second. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so
The device will be turned off after 15 seconds.
Ma'am, I think we should play the next video. This is
your voice, is the voice coming?
No.
The sound coming?
Very low.
So yeah, so there is some issue with the sound.
Can we play the next video? I think
In
that
the
will
next also it will be the same issue. Ashima, the sound is not going to the other side.
Okay.
So fine. Doesn't matter. Now I would like to just a second. Now I would like to introduce Ms. Anamika Chaurasia from Clarivate Analytics, who is here with us today to motivate us and support us. Anamika Chaurasia is Senior Director, Government and Academic Segment, South Asia and Southeast Asia. The role entails establishing Clarivate as a trusted research partner with the academic institutions, government funders, and policymakers, and helping them achieve their research objectives with Clarivate solutions. She has been with the company for 13 plus years in various roles and geographic locations spanning India, Hong Kong, and USA. She also leads the CSR project initiatives for Clarivate in South Asia. Anamika completed MBA with majors in finance and strategy from Indian Institute of Management, Kozhikode, and also holds engineering degree in computer science from Maulana Azad National Institute of Technology, Bhopal. We welcome you, Anamika. Over to you. I would request you to please announce the 10 lucky winners and then address the audience. Thanks.
My pleasure. Thanks, Aarti. And I would like to thank the Saksham Trust for arranging this event. It was really motivating to hear about the indigenous innovation work being done by various partners in India. So without further ado, let me congratulate and announce the winner names. So they are Ayush Singhal, Vishal Seni, Falguni H. Panchal, Rashmi Taneja, Pradeep Kumar, Prem Goddard, Asha Mori, Vikram Jyoti Das, Nandan Mori, and Rishu Kumar. Congratulations and a big round of applause to all the winners.
Congratulations to everyone. I would like to inform you all that these 10 lucky winners are going to get EVO E10 at highly subsidized rate. They are just going to pay rupees 4,000 for a device worth 11,000 of rupees through the support of Clarivate Analytics. Thank you so much. And congratulations once again.
And in terms of my parting words, I would like to keep it short, not to take away from the good work that everyone else shared. So just want to express that it was a pleasure to engage with Saksham. Saksham is doing some really great work for the visually impaired. And we were very happy to join hands and make a small impact in the life of others. As far as Clarivate is concerned, so we are a global leader in providing insights and analytics to companies and organizations which are in the field of innovation. And we are proud to say that we drive the life cycle of innovation in a wide variety of scientific and academic research organizations. Globally, there are over 9,000 organizations who use our product and services, including over 300 in India. And I'm also very happy to say, looking at the impressive work that IIT Delhi, for example, is doing, we are also their partners through products such as Web of Science. We are very proud of noting the work coming out of India, which was shared on this platform. In terms of this specific project, the way it came about as part of our CSR themes. So our CSR project team focuses on three broad areas, which are education and skills development, innovation and entrepreneurship, and health and environment. And the work being done by Saksham fits very nicely in the first theme, which was education and skills development. So not only we helped provide these devices to the people who need it most, and we are hoping that the audience who is receiving these devices will make very good use of it in terms of advancing knowledge and education. In addition, we also worked with Saksham quite closely in making a lot of books accessible to be made available as part of the Sugam Pustakalaya. So we tried to club that initiative with the World Sight Day in October, and we helped convert around 14 books in which our India employees participated. I would like to thank Saksham again for this noble cause and basically helping expand the education and knowledge network, which we highly believe in as a company, as well as individually what I believe in. So with that, I'll close my remarks. Thank you everyone for inviting me. It was a pleasure to hear from all of you, and congratulations to the winners again.
Thank you so much, Anamika. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Again, I would say every step is full of so much of passion and things here. It's a pleasure to be partnering with you and taking this cause forward. I may just add that through this project, of course, we have reached out to almost 150 users actually, and not just these 10 who are now the lucky winners. And we have also been able to bridge a big divide there. Dotbook, of course, is filling up that whole divide of bringing up this completely new dimension to the usage of Braille in the education sector and providing so many solutions. But the EVO E10 also, because especially the senior citizens who lose their eyesight are the ones who are not digitally empowered to grapple the complexities of a smartphone, and their access to information and reading has been very challenged. And this is where E10 kind of a player is helping bridging that gap, that even without getting into the complexities of smartphone, we can get access to books which are directly connected to online libraries, and getting access to thousands of books and newspaper delivery right into your pockets. So thanks a lot for partnering with us in taking this furthering this cause to take these things to users. From here on, we move to having a special address by Dr. Himanshu Das from the NIEPVD, who, of course, are taking these solutions through various government schemes, not just to a few hundreds, but thousands and lakhs of people. So, NIPVD, of course, is playing a very important role in empowering persons with blindness and low vision in this country. And to introduce Dr. Das, may I also invite Pushpa from the Saksham School. So please come and introduce Dr. Himanshu Das. Pushpa has been our key resource teacher who is and has a huge experience of supporting students in the most challenging circumstances of inclusive education in very demanding schools. So there are schools who really demand a lot from students, and it's because of the dedication of teachers like Pushpa ma'am to enable students to be able to cope up with all those requirements and become shine like stars in those extremely good schools in NCR, Delhi. Pushpa ma'am, please come in for introduction of Dr. Das. Pushpa ma'am, we can't hear you as of now. You are here? Aarti, can you confirm is Pushpa ma'am here?
I am not able to see her.
So can I ask you to sort of take on? Is it possible for you to?
Sure, sir. Give me a
Okay,
second.
please.
So once again, it's my privilege, sir, to introduce you to another event. So Dr. Himanshu Das holds a PhD in special education and master's in special education, psychology, social work, education, and English. Currently, he is the director of National Institute for Empowerment of Persons with Visual Disabilities, NIPVD, Dehradun. Chief Coordinator, National Early Intervention and Preschool Project, and the Chairperson, National Mental Health Rehabilitation Helpline. He is former director of National Institute for Empowerment of Persons with Multiple Disabilities and former director in charge of National Institute for Empowerment of Persons with Intellectual Disabilities under Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. He was responsible for bringing NIP-MD and NIP-ID at the center stage of rehabilitation services and instrumental in establishing composite regional centers for persons with disabilities in 6 states. He was a visiting faculty at Roehampton University, London, and Charles University, Paraguay, Czech Republic, and has visited extensively across Europe. We welcome you, sir, once again to this platform to share your valuable thoughts and guidance to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm really humbled with your introduction. It has been a kind of a very mesmerizing kind of a environment for last almost 1 hour. I was feeling as if we have gone back to some kind of college or classes with so many extraordinarily brilliant people delivering their talks and their journey and then nitty-gritty of the two devices. Saksham since 2003, I think, had been remarkably involved in so many things. It's difficult to concise them all together. Dipendra sir, you deserve a lot. I think my congratulation is not enough. You are really a social entrepreneur, and I think contributing the best that anybody could contribute to the visually impaired population and the society at large. Aarti madam, thank you so much. And we had Pulkit Sapraji, Sonali Jainji, Professor Balakrishnan sir, PVM Rao sir. They're like kind of people whom you always adore, and you know that they are the stalwarts in the field of technology for disability. Pulkit Sapraji, Suman Murli Krishnan, Shashi Kumarji, Nishantji, Anilji, and further we had Anamikaji, Patanjaliji, and so many others. I could not collect their names, but it had been a wonderful journey for last whole 1 hour. It was kind of traveling through technology and so many aspects of life, technology getting into people's life and willing to serve such a population which actually will never remain handicapped, will never remain disabled, provided we can give them these technological solutions. Clarivate Analytics, IIT Delhi, Phonics Medical System, and Critical Solutions, I think deserves to be congratulated and taken to a different platform to let the world know what they are actually doing. I wish we could organize a big national level event and get all of them together so people to actually see them, interact with them. Hopefully soon with Saksham, we'll be planning such an event in Delhi or somewhere in India once this COVID situation improves. I strongly feel that all these people needs some kind of different kind of a recognition, which my whole fraternity working in the field of visual disability would love to sort of appreciate them in person. Such advanced DAISY player, EVO E10, and the dot book refreshable braille display with very, very advanced features, and added to what Manoj sir gave them, the training component also getting included, linking to Sugamaya Pustakalaya and the language options that all of us could see. I think it will serve, it will most likely, most certainly serve people at higher education and technical education that is much needed. Now the journey is, how do we immediately get these devices under Government of India assistive device distribution schemes, because we'd love to touch upon every life having visual challenges, print challenges, and if we could deliver this to nook and corner of this country, I'm very hopeful the education challenges, the gaps that Saksham has been talking about, the employment challenges, the skilling challenges can be sort of challenged to a much, much greater height. Further, I think it's high time the Government of India scholarship program, post-matric and overseas scholarship program that we have, those fees also could somehow immediately include such devices. I think that would serve a long way, because you need not to wait for a camp of EDIP to come over. The moment you take admission in a particular institution, under direct beneficiary transfer system of the government, the child can get, or the student can get the money along with his scholarship, and the student will be able to purchase this from whatever outlet that all of you are planning to. So these two things can solve the problem to greater height. However, in the last 5 years, we have seen a majority of companies are coming to us, approaching us or approaching Alimco for CSR initiatives. They are now very much interested that CSR could reach persons with disabilities more than any other areas. So with that innovation and interest of CSR people coming in, we could also plan out some kind of a program where we could budget it out, and maybe 5 crore would not be a very huge amount if we can launch a national kind of a movement and a flagship program that this device could be given to higher education people, technical education people. I would have a separate maybe meeting or some kind of a MOU with Manoj sir, and maybe we could plan out a beautiful project and give it to CSR people. And I'm very sure this project would get limelight even in CSR projects. And I can assure you in future, even companies will have competition to reach out to such beautiful devices. Now, I don't know, I would like to have some of these devices and put it on practice in our model school and in our ITI, and maybe prepare a good feedback report kind of a thing, and soon submit it for the EDIP distribution, Government of India EDIP distribution program, and also have a special proposal being made after the trial for a few weeks or so for the scholarship program. I would further request all these researchers and innovators and the scientists to be on this task as long as they can and support the movement, because when we visit villages and go elsewhere, everywhere, we realize that in other disabilities, there may be many challenges. When it comes to visual disability, the only thing they are waiting for is technology. Nothing else do they need. Hearing disability are crying for sign languages, which may be very difficult for a country to give. Millions of people, how do you actually ensure that everywhere they go, they get a sign language person? There's a lot of challenges. Physically challenged individual will have multiple challenges. Intellectual disability, altogether different. But when you talk of visually challenged individuals, I think this is the right way. And with this, all these stalwarts, if we could develop a kind of a national platform for research in visual disability, with this very strong group of scientists, philanthropists, I don't know, I call them social scientists or whatever, I think they could change the face of this country, and in due course they would definitely change the whole face of persons with disability in this country in terms of life cycle approach, in terms of early identification to late adulthood, in terms of womb to tomb, whole life cycle. They are capable of touching all the challenges which digitally, I think, technologically could give solutions to persons with visual disability. Once again, thank you all of you so much for giving me this opportunity to be part of this program. I actually planned for a different kind of a speech today, but after listening to so many of you and such scholarly, brilliant things, that my mind is now altogether in a different dimension now. Once again, thank you so much. Thank you all of you. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dasami, for this encouraging word and for the motivations that, the things that can really motivate the team. And although I must say that the kind of passion that has resulted in these innovations, those are self-motivated, but these kind of encouragements actually will further motivate people to continue the good work and the innovation that is actually happening in this country. So with that, now we are coming to our very important presentation, another very important presentation of the day. Patanjali ji from the World Health Organization is with us, and we are extremely privileged for him being with us today for this event. May I please ask Sharmishta Mukherjee ma'am to please come and introduce Patanjali ji here. She's another pillar of taking our inclusive education program to light. Sharmishta Mukherjee ji, please come and introduce Dr. Patanjali.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving us this opportunity. And it gives me great pleasure to be able to introduce Mr. Patanjali Dev Nair. So Mr. Patanjali Dev Nair, an ophthalmologist and public health specialist by virtue of his varied trainings, spent large part of his professional life in public healthcare system. He is one of the few ophthalmologists who made a transition from clinical work to public health domain and is currently regional advisor for disability, injury, prevention and rehabilitation for WHO, Regional Office for Southeast Asia, New Delhi. Previous to his current assignment, he was the medical officer at the WHO office at Maldives, technical officer WHO regional office for Western Pacific, Manila, as well as UNFA India office. Dr. Nair has been instrumental in leveraging resources for blindness mitigation and visual rehabilitation by building and consolidating partnerships with various centers of excellence in the Southeast Asia region and developing them as WHO collaborating centers. He was instrumental in supporting IAPB to carry out nationwide school eye health survey in Bhutan. Strengthening access to assistive products to people in need has been one of his special interests and was actively involved in finalizing the WHO priority assistive products list as well as its launch in Geneva. He supported member states to advance their efforts to adopt the WHO priority assistive products list and to develop national assistive technology apex centers. He brings a firm commitment to improve access to assistive technology, especially in the low resource settings and with emphasis on gender and financial equity. Sir, it's my pleasure to invite you and we would love to hear from you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Shamishta ji. Thank you so much for the kind words and the warm words. I thank you very much for those, and I thank Manocha ji, the organizers. I wouldn't take too long. Most of us are friends. As you know, and of course, with Dr. Balakrishnan ji and Dr. P.V.M. Rao, others, it has been a very ghanisht, if I can use the Hindi word, relationship which we have developed. I'm very much touched by what Director Saab just now spoke, Dr. Das, and I entirely agree with him. This is what I have done. I had a longish presentation, but after listening to everyone, I thought I quickly changed, and I was debating whether I actually should make a presentation or not. And then I realized there are many people who are listening on the YouTube, and maybe it will be recorded and some of the slides may be useful for them. So I'm going to make a presentation. Otherwise, I wanted to speak up because, as I said, and I want to tell Manocha ji that you have put me as a chief guest or a special guest or whatever, but I would like to call myself as a chief student of today. It has been highly educative listening to everyone, and I listened to every word and you know, learned so much. And I entirely agree with Dr. Das when he says the amount of passion, hard work, dedication. And of course, as I said, I know Balakrishnan ji and P.V. Rao and their team. With Piyush, I've had the pleasure and honor to work in a couple of meetings together, and just the team. So thank you very much for all these things. I'm going to, I think I already have the share screen right, so I'm going to start it. As I said, it's only for the region that I'm going to. I think I'll have to put it on first, but it was. Okay, and then we say go to share screen. Here it is. Share. Okay. Is it visible? Because I do not know whether my screen is visible or not.
It's visible, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. I'll change to the slideshow view. I'll be quick. Is it? Yeah. Okay. I also can see it now. The important slide I have here is where I'd like to repeat it again and again because we forget. And many times disability actually a millstone put around the neck of the people who have a disability as if it's their fault. So we like to constantly remind that WHO sees disability as an interaction between a health condition and the environment. And if I am born with a health condition, or I acquire polio, or have retinitis pigmentosa, and I lose my eyesight in my late teens or early adulthood, depending on the severity, it's the environment which has to be engineered. And that is what we are going to focus upon. And I constantly like to remind, rather than making it as a blame game, what we got to focus is on the environment rather than on the disease or the health condition aspect, for which the health people are trying to do something. But for rehabilitation and for actually trying to put people into functionality, what we need to do is engineer the environment. It's exactly both the products today and the team and the white cane and what we are doing with the IIT, which I'll come to now, are trying to do is engineer the environment, make it more conducive, make it more useful for the people. So that's what the people are disabled in and by their environment. That's the core solution of this slide, that you see a person, whether it's a lady or a gentleman sitting in a wheelchair, you've given her a wheelchair, but yet it cannot be because there are stairs there. There's no way the lady can use even the wheelchair. And maybe she's a topmost scientist, innovator, whatever it is, but cannot come to address us because the environment isn't conducive, despite giving her the assistive technology product which she requires a wheelchair. So more is required for her. I straight away want to go to some of the innovative attempts which we are doing, and I like to showcase here. I'm very happy that Balakrishnan ji, Rao Sahib and the team and many other people are there. I also have my colleague, Dr. Padmaja here, who's joined in and has been actively listening. One of the things which IIT and Dr. Rao and the team, Balakrishnan ji, helping us is to how to make indoors mobility easier. Many of the things have been focused on outdoors mobility. But when people come into a building, they have to keep on asking, भैया ये room कहाँ है, 536 कहाँ है, 211 कहाँ है, ये कहाँ मिलेगा, ये साहब कहाँ बैठते हैं, etc. And this is where it's working on, and we're very happy to see. And I'm very pleased to report that the NAB building in Delhi, and that also we chose along with Dr. Manoj ji ke saath, we decided that we'll go for this building, is almost complete. And the user trials, Kwasi, the trials of the providers are going on, and it should be done in this month or so. So that's one innovative attempt. I'm going to my next slide, is possibly one or two slides later. We're going to talk about what do we see as innovation. WHO here is also trying to provide, centers trying to provide low vision aids in CR countries. And Shamishra ji, Manucha Sahib, and all my other people on the panel and those listening through YouTube, you'll be happy to know we are promoting the concept of twinning. And that is the RP Center, New Delhi, WHO Collaborating Center, like the IIT also, is twinning with the National Institute of Ophthalmology, Dhaka, to build capacities of that institution for low vision aid. We're also giving equipment and also capacity building. Third is the raising AT awareness. This came up again, Dr. Das mentioned, and earlier throughout, Balakrishnan ji, Rao also spoke about. We have some very good products, but how do we bring them up to scale? One, or secondly, how do we bring them out so that people know about it? Then there's a need, and then there is a demand about it, so that they can actually manufacturing can come to scale. It's not that you start manufacturing at scale when there is no need or demand. So we realized at WHO that one of the core activities which WHO has to do is improve awareness about the 80 products. So other than the 50 products list, which we brought out nearly 4 years ago, what we've done is we are proactively now doing, trying to showcase 80 products from CR countries and bring them up. And we're very happy to know that we wrote out to Saksham, of course, Dr. Rao, Balakrishnan ji, and Assist Tech Lab are actively collaborating with us on this area. We developed a list, and just 3 years ago, we had a discussion with Chapel headquarters to see that we buy the products, some samples from the CR countries, largely from India, from various places, and then send them to the other 10 countries of the region, and maybe even outside the region to the African countries and the Middle East, to show that these are the products which we have and which WHO thinks need to have. We cannot endorse a product unless there are quality criteria, etc. But we can definitely say, well, we find this product useful, maybe you'd like to have a look. So these are some of the innovative things, Shamishra ji, which are trying to do. to answer. As I said, I had a longish presentation, but you will find fewer slides because I said it was learning, and the thrust is on how to reach out more to people, and there are multiple issues involved here. So I'm going to bring some of them which were not discussed. I'll skip this slide. This is one of the heartbreaking slides, and I always try to use it. As an eye surgeon, we are very happy, and my tribe is very pleased to say, as I have personally done around 35,000 cataract operations. My wife, who is also an ophthalmologist, has maybe done 3 times in what I have done because I moved on to public health in certain part in my life. There, the ophthalmologist tribe is pretty happy and secure, talking about the surgery is done, cataracts, glaucomas, retinas, etc. But there's a huge number of people who are beyond surgery. Where do they belong? Who's to look after them? Don't they have a right to live happy, productive, cheerful lives? So that's where we talk about, and we bring about this issue that AT is for rehab, and AT is required not only for improving functionality. So I had a number of slides with me showing daily use products, other things, games they can play, other products, beautify themselves. Why not? Just the kind of things which is there. So what we talk about, one of the points I want to make here is, and to remind my own self and ophthalmologists and the governments and everybody here who's listening, there's a huge number of people who need us, who need the thrust which we're talking today. And today's need, howsoever nice and deep it may be, still only touches a very few of them. We need to go much more beyond, have many more products. And I'm sure that is what this meeting will further lead into, to see that we keep on expanding. And at the same time, the products which we have available, starting from the white cane to what we have discussed, both of them today, to see that they go out into the market and people start using them. So it's a multi-pronged battle, which you're using, and each step needs to be done simultaneously. We cannot just sit on our laurels, and yet the laurels which we have, people do not know about it. So that's where the job comes in continuous innovation, but continuous applauding, as you say, like our cricketers, some of them have to be plodder. So we got to keep on plodding, keep on playing the ball and not getting out. And I think WHO has now learned the art, and with the partners, the dedicated partners, all of you here, which we have, IIT or Section, and many more who are not today, we can keep on plodding and do it. The only problem with the plodding is that you need to do it quicker because we need to have result. It's not, a draw is not acceptable to WHO. We need to win. We are going to win. This is, I think I developed this slide while listening to Balakrishnan-ji, P.V. Rao and the team. It was fascinating. As I said, I'm a chief student today, and it comes to me from my humility and a deep desire to learn as a jigyasu, and not as to, plead for humility. No, I mean it. It was beautiful. It's a learning for us. It's there. Innovation sometimes responds innately to said and the unsaid needs. And I'm going to give the example below where the Henry Ford's car is there. So some people asked him, like some people may ask you, what did you get the idea for a dot book or the EVO E10? So if I have pronounced the name correctly, which I don't think so I have, but I'm ready to learn. So when Henry Ford was asked, did you ask people? He said, what do you mean if I ask people? They said they need a fast horse. In those days, the New York streets are littered with gobar, with the horse manure, 1.5 feet, not 1.5 inches, 1.5 to 2 feet deep. And what people required was a fast horse. But he produced a car. And as you know the old story that he never had the courage, and it was his dear wife who first took out the car and popularized it. So that's there. So the point which we're trying to make is, at times you got to understand the question in a different way. You got to understand the depth of the question. Somebody else needs, I need a faster horse. Henry Ford heard it as, I need a faster transport. That's the change which made the innovation. So sometimes what an innovative mind or a scientific mind has to do is to go back 2 steps and see what is the real reality behind this particular statement or a question or a need, and then interpret how I can do it. And that leads to innovation. I don't think anybody could have produced a faster horse unless they had a, horse combination going on, and it must have taken generations. So just as the question, to applaud the innovations which we have heard today, and I and Balakrishnan ji, Dr. Rao Sahab have been on various other meetings where many other innovations come up. So the point which I want to make is we need to continue with innovations, multiple products, multiple ways of understanding people's need. At times, people are unable to articulate their needs or articulate what will help them. And that's where the scientific and the science and the technology comes in together. And of course, they have to have a sensitive heart like we have the people here. It's not enough to be a great technician or a great scientist. You've got to have that heart also to see, here is a person who's not able to function because of some small thing, and can I, or collectively me and others, can do something about it. And that's where WHO is a proud but humble partner with you all, because we understand the needs. We didn't know how to fulfill them. And thank you very much for actually calling us and trying to bring us in, educating us, and at the same time helping us meet the needs of millions of people, as I tried to show you in one of the slides. It even goes beyond. That's only for the visual one. I, as a regional advisor, have to do for all of other disabilities also. And tomorrow is the World Hearing Day. We sent out a mail to all of you. I think Dr. Rao also must have received it, because we feel that there has to be cross-fertilization of ideas. It's just because somebody is working on vision doesn't mean that he or she cannot be involved to hear about other disabilities, and they need to understand and maybe work on the cross-fertilization ideas. The huge challenges, I will leave the slides for later on because they can be recorded there. I'll share the slides later on. There, lack of awareness, need, demand, supply triad is heavily skewed. That is, there is no need, thus there is no demand, and thus there is very poor supply. Or in the supply which we also have does not have quality dimensions to it. Providers are unsure about new AT products. That's where again the awareness part comes in. Manufacturers work on small scale and there's hardly any standardization. Higher cost and mostly paying out of pocket expenses. Pardon me, that line got erased. Universal designing has been lacking all through, and what we talked here and what we're talking about the indoor mobility, and it was fascinating to see that it's as a basis of universal design that the app there would be also utilized by people who are so-called sighted, because they're going to find it easy. And that's the kind of thing we're looking at. Local innovation and manufacturing is not to scale, and vocal for quality local is needed, not only vocal for local. I humbly beg and get the allowance for Honorable Prime Minister. I entirely agree with the slogan, because it encourages innovation, encourages the animal spirits of the youth of the country, region, province, state, and maybe nearby countries to actually put in their work. So vocal for local is good, but vocal for quality local is what we need to talk about when we come to AT. And serious government efforts are required. The landscape is evolving. There are bottlenecks, and there is lack of insurance support to AT, like Ayushman Bharat and others could add to the AT products. That will be a big boost. As Dr. Das said, he talked about CSR. Thus, we have a huge number of schemes, but which have somehow not focused on AT products. They have operations, medicines in them. And we have lacked there, and we are talking to the governments and the ministries of health. The problem is that most of the AT is seen as disability related, so sits with the Ministry of Social Justice and not with the Ministry of Health. So unless we decouple the AT and disability concept and make ET as required for functionality for people who are aging, I myself use 2 AT products. People who have NCDs like diabetes, diabetic foot, or diabetic retinopathy, or strokes, and many other NCDs, we will not be able to move those those horses which we need in the arena, especially Ministry of Health, especially the schemes coming up. Huge number of schemes could plug in it. Skilling India, Make in India, many of them. Divyang India is okay, any one of that focuses on those people. But I want to go beyond the Divyangan. It's needed for many things and it can plug in. So I think we also as a group also need to work and have a strategizing session one day, which is separate from the technical part, is strategizing how to bring it in the mainframe, how to bring it from the back burner to the front, and how to channelize and energize, and how to capitalize on things which are available and staring us in the face, so many schemes, and the money will go back to the government if they're not utilized. So we need to do that. That's the pitch I wanted to make through this slide and this line here, that we need to, and that will solve many of the problems for the incubators, for Assistec and many others. We need many more. And rather than having lack of funds, we're going to have enough funds to actually innovate and see to it that they reach the people who need them. We need to have successful models for distribution, the mobile vans, panchayats, municipalities. Some other day, more details, but just wanted to touch the topic to let you know that this is also important to create a need and a demand is innovative models for distribution, not only innovations in manufacturing or in design. We need innovations in distribution also. It's not reaching people. Millions of people need it. It's not reaching anywhere. And quality matter. This is the sources of assistive devices. This is taken from Nepal. It's a fascinating slide because it makes it so clear where the people getting their, 80 of them get from private, that is they themselves. The government health services only are less than around 5, other government services 3, and the NGOs around 10. We can see at this, if this is the condition in Nepal, I had this slide, I don't have a slide from India, so I'm using this because I also see the India and the Indian manufacturer, Indian innovators also impacting all the neighboring countries. And why only neighboring one? Much beyond maybe Southeast Asia and also going up to Africa. Maybe one day also Europe would be affected, impacted, because somehow we have that kind of innate thinking to reach out, and universal design comes pretty easily, sensibly to the Indian mind, or I would say the Eastern mind. And let's capitalize on it. This is a slide which you know about. We have this product list. The first one to come in, only 50 products. And sorry to say, to share with you that not many countries yet. Bhutan has done it, Nepal. Bhutan, the Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister himself released the list of Bhutanese, a list of AP products, around 110 or so of them they have adopted. From 50, they have added more. Nepal has done it, Sri Lanka. But bigger countries like India, Indonesia are yet to do it. So I also seek your humbly seek your help, all everyone here, to see that we pitch in to say that these products are adopted / adapted by the government, maybe the state governments, and brought on the list of, like medicines are given freely or at a very subsidized cost. So should be the products in this list. Some of them are shown in the next slide, be given. And that is where see, innovation is important. Very good. But there are certain products which are already available. A handheld lens or various kinds of wheelchairs or prostheses. They're not reaching people. And that's where any one of us who thinks about it. So Manocha ji, to fight well for the visually disabled people, we actually need to fight well for the disabled and fight well for the assistive technology. Then the subsection or the visually disabled or the challenged people will get their due. So we have a double fight. We'll do it. Once we become clear that you got to fight for the 80 list so that our visually challenged people will get something free in large numbers, it's a good fight, and I'm ready to take it up. Thank you very much. I think this is the last slide, role of WHO, and thank you all of you for listening very patiently. I'd like to now stop sharing my screen and to once again thank you all for doing this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Patanjali. Dr. Patanjali. I think this was so well shared, and I think it's very motivating. I think it's giving us the next steps, the next place to go, and giving us the future direction. We certainly, I think we will continue our collaborations and our way forward. Thank you so much for sharing this presentation actually with us. So that brings us to the completion of our this event. I'm extremely thankful to all the stalwarts who are here, to share this moment and share this experience, and to be just reminding ourselves that these steps, these baby steps that are being taken through these all these smaller projects are the potential to take us to the next level. We have always believed in creating, through innovation, creating models that can be scaled up, and then making efforts how those things can actually be scaled up. And this event again is absolutely there in that a step in that direction. I'm very thankful, as I'm saying, for all these stalwarts, and not taking too much of time for the formal vote of thanks, because I think we have our heartfelt gratitude is more than more than there. I mean, there are no words that can actually describe this. It's been a lifetime kind of associations that we have had with each one of the persons who are here, who are because and share that whole passion and the mission which is there with us, and the whole Saksham team which works relentlessly, the IIT Assist Tech team that works relentlessly on this, for being with us. Thank you so much for joining us, and we really look forward to moving many milestones further together. Thank you.
Thank you very much once again, all of you. Thank you everyone. Manocha ji, pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.